Yeah, remember when people were legit defending this show and that they tried to use the argument that they couldn't get Steve Downes to voice Master Chief because he's too old? Yeah, you're all fucking retarded, and this is why. Paramount's Halo, which I'm specifically calling it that because it has absolutely nothing to do with Halo, and as shitty as 343's Halo is, at least vaguely understands an iota of what Halo is supposed to be, but it is still Halo regardless. Paramount's Halo is nothing like Halo, especially when the main enemy of the Covenant is a fucking human, and last I checked, the Covenant likes humans about as much as people like Lolly and Shota, and will label them anything but a nice person if they so much as utter a single breath. I haven't done one of these types of videos in a while, mainly because I'm horrible at reading and the way that I talk sometimes makes me sound like I'm dumb. I want to mention something specifically about Paramount's Halo. I haven't watched it, I haven't seen many videos on it, but seeing the people that have talked about it, it is safe to say it has nothing to do with Bungie's Halo or 343's Halo. Why the fuck should I bother watching it? I'm not Synthetic Man, where I get paid to do this shit, and I sure as shit don't have enough time for this shit. As a certain popular video game character has also said in a video game about zombies. Or they're just about fun guys. Cue the fucking music and let's get down to business. As a certain man said in another video game that I also detest, despite the voice actor actually being pretty wholesome. Halo fans really want Master Chief to put his helmet back on in Season 2. Guilty spark. Okay, you could take this into anything and it would sound extra funny, but unfortunately the context of this is not as funny. And this was quite a while ago. I know I'm kind of a low-key week late, but I've been pretty busy myself, and I really didn't want to have to do this in my typical rant, but I wanted to read from ignorant despite the website not being favorable these days, but I need material and I'm going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for it. This week, Xbox and Paramount showed off a brand new trailer for the upcoming Paramount's Halo Season 2, which continues the story of Master Chief live-action exploits following Season 1's mixed reception. Again, I haven't watched Paramount's Halo. I care nothing about Paramount's Halo. I like Bungie's Halo, but I cannot stand the campaign. But thankfully someone's gone and made a mod for the damn thing that actually makes it objectively more playable than what even Bungie could even bother fixing after Combat Evolved. I could rant about that, but I already did a long time ago, and I still think it holds up pretty well. The trailer showing Season 2 go in a bit more of a gritty direction, with plenty of action that certainly looks improved upon Season 1's divisive set pieces. The less said about that first-person shooter sequence, the better. Oh, you mean like when Doom did it and people fucking hated it? So what's different here? Isn't Halo supposed to be a first-person shooter? It's kind of sad that when even fucking Reboot did that shit better, but its Master Chief helmet has become the hottest talking point, and that's because he's not wearing it. Yeah. This is why I don't understand why people will defend this show when the very thing of John 117 is that you hardly see his face, and for a good reason. People legit use this exact same argument for certain video game architectures, but I'll digress. There is a reason why Bungie made Master Chief the way that he is, even though he has his helmet on all the time, and even in the Halo 1 ending where you see the illusion of him taking off the helmet, they're not that dumb and put an actual face on the damn character. It's supposed to be an insert of your character. He doesn't talk much, but he has emotion. Which is the whole theme of this article, and the whole vocal point that people love to talk about with Halo, whether they're talking about Bungie's Halo or 343's Halo. Halo stars Pablo Schreiber from American Gods as Master Chief, and we see his face a fair bit in the trailer. In fact, one action sequence sees John 117 fighting the Covenant without any armor at all. First of all, I'm not about to go on this autistic rambling rant about how the lore of John 117's power armor is different between the games and the book. Second of all, someone is making a show about a popular video game, but not only knows little about it, but can't even bother to do any research. And even when The Last of Us got away with that shit because they didn't want to steal ideas from the very thing they're adapting, Why even adapt it at all? I understand that people don't want to be accused of plagiarizing, but people kind of already get away with that shit regardless. And if you're going to adapt something and not even make it faithful, just don't do it. And this is the bullshit people are willing to defend even before Season 2 was a thing. Just keep that in mind. People legit defended this, said that they couldn't get Steve Downes because he's too fucking old, and this is the bullshit of what you get. You defend it, you deal with the bullshit. End of story. All in this direct contrast to the video game franchise upon which the series is based. In the Halo games, Master Chief never takes his helmet off and almost always appears in full armor. In the video games, created by Bungie and now developed by Microsoft-owned 343 Industries, Master Chief acts as a conduit through which the player lives out their sci-fi heroics. His visor is one we look out from, not at. Master Chief's visor is iconic, perhaps the most recognizable image from the franchise. I hate to say it, but Ignorant actually kinda has a point with this shit. There is a reason why people look at Master Chief and think, wow, what an actually interesting character, but oh wait, self-inserts don't cut it anymore. Some of the negative reaction to the Halo TV show and this latest trailer comes from this place. Fans of the video games are saying across social media and forums that they want to see more Master Chief doing Master Chief things with his helmet on, not off. The top post on the Halo subreddit is exactly that. How did nobody at the marketing department realize that this was a bad thing? Oh, you mean the people very much offended because it's supposed to be an adaptation and things can be different as long as it's faithful to the source material? You can't just throw shit at a wall and call it faithful because it comes from human. That was a shitty analogy. And also a shitty pun. It wonders, pointing to the new post of the show that features Schreiber's Master Chief without his helmet on, some fans have even tweaked the post to put Master Chief's helmet back on. You're really gonna die in this hole saying that this show is actually decent when even the people who fucking make this shit that cater to you can't even get this shit right? And yet people think the Sonic films are any better? I'm not gonna get into that. I already did a whole ass video talking about that shit. You can go and watch that and come back here. I'll wait. If this debate sounds familiar, it's because fans said similar things when Master Chief first took off his helmet in the very first episode of Season 1, in March of 2022. Schreiber explains why the decision was made for Master Chief to remove his helmet. Okay, before we get into this autism vortex, I want to make it extremely clear. This is a show that Microsoft endorsed some no-name company to make a TV series based on one of the most critically acclaimed console shooters of all time. And then you have people who say that this show is not faithful, but then you have heretics saying, it's fine, shut up. And we're about to get the words of the dude who essentially plays the character that you idolize since 2001. One thing I learned very early on is that there is many different opinions in the Halo universe as there are Halo fans. So, obviously, you're not going to be able to please everybody. But what I would say is that we are tailoring entertainment experience that's tailored to the medium that it's for. When you play a first-person shooter, the way that the character is developed is very different than what's necessary. You're making long-form television. To go on this journey with your protagonist, you're not going to be able to bring an audience in a long-form story without having access to a character's face, which tells you what they're feeling, how they think about everything. Get access to a character's emotional life over the course of time is what makes you empathize and connect with the character. I'm sorry, but it's the only choice for long-form storytelling in television. Well, I'll say anybody disagrees with that. I totally respect that opinion, but it's a pretty basic place to start when you're talking about making a television show of quality. Quality. Okay. Let's break down this shit one by one, shall we? One thing I learned very early on is that there's many different opinions in the Halo universe as there are Halo fans. Well, that I can actually give them, because people actually defend 343's Halo games, saying that 4, 5, and Infinite are actually better than Reach, even though people legit use the Halo cycle on not just Halo, but anything else, so that one I'll give them to it. You're not going to be able to please everybody. Well, that's also a fucking given, but that is also a strawman argument. We're tailoring to an entertainment purpose what's tailored to the medium that it's for, when you're making a fucking show that's based on a video game, it is not for a general audience. You're making a show that's primarily based on people who actually play the games since 2001. Or whenever Halo 4 came out. I don't even fucking know, don't really care. I don't even consider 343's Halo canon for obvious reasons, but that's not what this is about. When you play a first-person shooter, the way that a character is developed is very different than what's necessary when you're making long-form television. What the fuck is Doom then, okay? Whether you agree or disagree about that mindset, there is a reason why people just kind of prefer having a self-insert character that isn't completely fucking dynamic. And not to mention, Halo is partly inspired by Doom. You know, green armor, dude who hardly takes off his helmet, and no, I'm not counting the HUD, but that's also a given. One doomed space marine taking on the hordes of evil, whether it be from hell or space. You get the idea. Also, does this dude not realize that there are countless forms of media that can do this thing where they don't have to always show the character's fucking face? Or if they want to, they could just have, I don't know, a stunt double who has a character doing things and actually having Pablo voice act? I know it sounds really fucking stupid the way I delivered it, but even characters like Darth Vader, one of cinema's greatest villains of all time, actually had a thing where they had a dude who played the character and have James Earl Jones voice him. It's kind of like in that Family Guy bit where they wouldn't have a big fat black guy walking around as Darth Vader, so they did the smart thing by having a nice slim man walking around doing Darth Vader things, so you have another dude who has the booming voice of Darth Vader himself. And even if they were to get Steve Downes and have old Steve Downes walking around, that would make people even more pissed off, unless it's in the case of Hitman, where they have the dude who voices Agent 47 while also being motion captured by the dude who's based on Agent 47. I know the point is kind of irrelevant, but seriously. It also doesn't help that the way that Steve Downes delivers his lines and his body motions speaks a lot more words than just saying things and acting cool while doing it. This dude does not understand Halo more than people who don't even play the fucking Halo games that think they know shit, but then get mad at me for a certain video game that rhymes with Meldon Bing. I'm sorry, but it's the only choice of long-form storytelling in television. No, you're just sorry that you got caught. And you're also saying this because you didn't want to have Microsoft up your ass for things that you have no control of or you just don't give a shit, which is the biggest problem in this fucking world. And also quality too. Do I really need to fucking talk about that shit? Quality? A show where they can't even get fucking Master Chief portrayed correctly? Halo is an interesting place, with Halo Infinite failing to hit the heights of the previous games in the famed series despite recent positive sentiment from fans. Yeah, the fucking $60 campaign DLC in addition to the several fucking months worth of patch work just to make the multiplayer remotely playable. That's a great fucking business model, Microsoft. The Halo community is anxiously awaiting the next entry after 343 pretty much left Infinite's story behind following its troubled launch back in 2021. Meanwhile, the Halo show has some work to do getting fans on side. Well, that was me talking about ignorance, Paramount's Halo TV show discourse, and why I still refuse to bother watching that shit, because it can't even get basic shit correctly. And boy, if I watch this tomorrow and find out that they actually fucked up my boy Sweet Tooth, there's going to be hell to pay. Until then, I'm just going to go back and play Halo the way it's meant to be played by yours truly. Wake me when you need me.